Hi, welcome to Teensy Vintage. This is Teresa. Welcome back to all my subscribers, and hello if you're new here. Welcome. Thanks for watching. Today we're working in my Square Dylusions journal, and I'm using some papers that I just had a session the other day of just pulling prints off my gel plate. And I've pulled out some that I just really like the colors. And here I am trying to figure out what kind of adhesive to use. And I end up going with my UHU glue stick. I thought about using the gel medium, but you know what? It's just too messy. It was too fussy. So we're keeping it super simple today. I picked out these pages basically just because of the colors. I really love this kind of purpley magenta color. And then there's a teal with some yellows. That teal page is actually a roll-off page. I cleaned my brayer on that page. And before I do any actual gluing, I'm going to do a little bit of stamping. And I pulled this text stamp off of a Tim Holtz set. And again, all the supplies will be listed in the description below in case you're curious. And all I'm doing is using some archival ink in jet black to put some of this text around the page, just to give it some texture, some interest, that kind of thing. And so it doesn't have to be neat or pretty. It basically just needs to, add a little something back there on the page because some of it, most of it's going to get covered up by these pieces of paper. So I'm just going to start gluing down my papers. I'm using a big plastic, I don't know what this thing is called. I got it from scrapbook.com, and it's basically just a big piece of plastic. It's flat. It's wonderful for smoothing out pages that you glue down. And so yeah, so I'm just going in here and adding torn up pieces of this paper. I'm loving how this color is looking together. I really just love looking at beautiful colors. Do y'all ever do that? You just want to feel a little better sometimes. And honest to goodness, looking at a pretty color sometimes really helps me feel better. So this page is just full of teals and purples. There'll be a few more colors added in later, but for now, the main colors are going to be these two. And I'm just having a great time tearing off little pieces and gluing them down. And here I'm like, ooh, that green on green is a bit too much. So we're going to stick a little purple piece behind it just to give it a little more, you know, we're going to call it umami, that term for that flavor, that sixth sense. Yeah. I'm also going to use, this is a piece of tissue wrap from Tim Holtz that I also put on the gel plate. They don't make this particular product anymore. At least I don't think they do. It was a Tim Holtz product from about 10 years ago, and it's from Ideology. It came in a big cardboard package, and it looks kind of like, saran wrap in your kitchen, and you pull off a sheet. And I think now the product comes in a small tube, and it's a very lightweight paper, but this is more of a waxy paper. But it's still got some really great designs on it, and it takes the paint really well. So we're just going to use some of that too. Um, yeah, so now I've got a little bit of that light green, yellowy green color. And I'm also going to use a library card, a library catalog card. That is from the mass make that I did a few weeks ago where I made a bunch of cards. Well, this is one of them. And I've, torn off the corner here because I want to have a focal. And I just auditioned those ladies. They weren't really right for this page, but you know what? This astronaut is. I think this is actually Buzz Aldrin. And so I'm just going to fussy cut around the astronaut, and he is going to be my focal for this piece. Um, yeah, so we'll cut all around, make sure we've got all the little details that we can. And he's going to go right on top of that orange and yellow piece. a really nice contrast to all the cool colors behind him. And yeah, I really like how that is looking. Okay, so before we do that, I wanted to do a little bit of stenciling. And I pulled out this beautiful stencil. Again, all of the items will be listed below because for the life of me, I can't remember who made this stencil. But I've got a Distress Oxide ink in Ripe Persimmon, and I love this color. It's a beautiful orangey color. And this ink will just sit right on top of all the stuff I just glued down. And it just adds a lot more texture, and it kind of coordinates with this gel printed card behind the astronaut. So I'm kind of tying those two things together. I'm going to go around the astronaut with some black ink just to darken the edges so they're not bright white anymore. And I'm going to do the same thing to the orange yellow card. You can always draw an outline around them once you've glued them down, but sometimes I just prefer to ink the sides if I'm not wanting to do that. So we're going to use some art glitter glue to glue these down. I find that cardstock, if you use a liquid glue, it will adhere better. For the thinner paper, I really love a glue stick. And again, it's up to you. Whatever is comfortable and available to you, use that glue. All right, so this is coming together. Um, Now I'm looking for a particular pencil, and this is a Derwent Inktense pencil in teal. This is the only Derwent Inktense pencil I have at the moment. I bought it at the art store. I was like, let me try this. And it's great. It's water activated. So you just draw it wherever you want it to be and then add a little water and it will spread out. So yeah, I'm adding this beautiful teal color, just around the page. It is lighter than the teal paper, which is nice. So it kind of complements that. I'm also using it to darken that teal paper a little bit there. Yeah, so that's a really nice product. I think I'm gonna get some more of those pencils. Maybe Santa will bring me some for Christmas. Now I'm just gonna dry everything. Adding water is great. Just want to make sure it's dry before you move on. And yeah, so now I'm gonna add some marks. I just got out a classic black Posca paint pen, and I'm just gonna go around and do some mark making on this page. Again, to me, I know it might look busy to you, but to me, it was like, I need some more marks. And we're even going to do some dots around the astronaut here. There we go. All right. And I'm like, it still needs a little something. There's still some spots here, so we're going to just do some tiny dots. Add those over here on the left side of the page. Just to kind of give some visual interest anywhere that, might have kind of a blank look to it. And then finally, we're going to add a little bit of green paint. And this is a Dina Wakley paint. I'm going to add some water to it. Now, you want to be careful when you're painting around the oxide ink. Remember, we stenciled that in a little while ago. It is water activated. So when you're adding color around it, be gentle because it will make a smudge, and orange and green do not make a pretty color. They make brown. So be gentle around the orange spots and you should be good to go. All right, that's our page, y'all. I really appreciate you watching. Let me know if you have any questions or comments below, and I'll see you next time.